Hi, in this video I'm going to explain how to use drums and percussion in Pizzicato. We start here with a one-line staff for the snare drum, but the following can be applied to any kind of staff. To hear drums and percussion, you must check that the instrument family selected in the instrument window is set to percussion kits. To use the audio sound samples of Pizzicato, you can simply select Assign virtual instruments to staves in the Edit menu. To write for drums and percussion, the first step is to determine which instruments to use and where to write them on the staff. By double-clicking just in front of a staff, the staff characteristic dialog box appears. Click on Drums map to assign each instrument to a staff line. In this example, only the snare drum is defined on the central line. We need a normal 5-line staff for drums, with a bass drum, a cymbal and a hi-hat. You can define the staff lines quite easily. The first area is used to select which instrument you need in the list of available percussion instruments. The second area lets you define the position of that instrument on the staff. Let's move the snare drum to the C note. We can now add the bass drum on the F note. And now the hi-hat on the D note. You can also define the note head symbol used for the instrument, for instance an X. Let's now add a cymbal on the upper F note. The percussion map is now finished and we can validate the dialog boxes. You can change the title by double-clicking on it. The name of the staff can be modified in the instrument window. The zoom buttons give you a better graphic precision, and the Notes and Rest palette contains the tools to write the music. By selecting a rhythmic value on the palette, you can then click the notes directly on the staff. The chord tool is used to add another instrument on an existing note stem. As the first rhythmic voice is complete, we can now add a second rhythmic voice on the same staff for the cymbal. You can play the rhythmic pattern in loop, and you can even modify or build it while listening to it. With the selection tool, you can easily copy and paste the content of a measure to another measure and then modify it to create a variation. The main symbols tool palette contains nuances, accents, crescendo and other useful symbols used in a score. You can also create a rhythmic pattern more intuitively, particularly if you don't master music notation well. Open the graphic editor window. One line is shown for each instrument, and the measure is here divided in 4 beats, each one with 4 subdivisions. By clicking in a box, you add that instrument. The score is automatically updated. It is a visual and intuitive way to enter music. To remove a note, you can simply click on it while holding down the Ctrl key. You can also play the pattern in loop and modify it until you like it. If you use the sound library of Pizzicato, check that the audio playback is set to real time so as to avoid any delay while playing the loop. When you import a MIDI file with drums and percussion, most software display them all on the same staff, which makes it difficult to read or modify. Pizzicato can split the various instruments on individual staves so that they are clearly visible and editable. Here are some examples of drums and percussion scores written with Pizzicato drums and percussion.